pajamas are just his pregame.
They've been getting wholesale deals for years.
It's Joe Murray on the Sports Hall.
Joe Show. There's a 2-mile wait to get past the damn green line.
Anyone who gets scared by a bear in the neighborhood, call Joe Murray.
I happen to trust Joe Murray.
First time I ever met Joe Murray was at a Hooter.
98.5 The Sports Hub. Sean Silver here, you there? 6:05 on a Tuesday before New Year's Eve. In for Joe Murray. In for Joe Murray. Saw Joe over the weekend. After Pat's post game on Sunday, I was here doing Celtics, which was joined in progress on 98.5. And it's always nice to see Joe. He entertains us all year long. It is, I think, appropriate that he gets to take a break around this time. But you know, Joe never sleeps. It was it Bon Jovi or someone else? I'll sleep when I'm dead. I believe that is perhaps one of many Joe Murray mantras. He is always on the grind. So make sure to check in with Joe on his socials, see what's going on over this holiday break here. In the meantime, Sean Silver chilling with you till 8:30. We're going up till Celtics Jazz pregame tonight. John Wallach on the call. Cedric Maxwell. And it is my pleasure to work tonight with another Joe. You may know him as Street Team Joe. Joe Ariano. How are we? Let's get this pronunciation right here.
Ariano, you got it right. You got it right.
Because, I got a letter recently that said, Dear Mr. Sliver. And I don't like to make mistakes with names. I should have hashed that out with you before the show. But really, Street Team Joe.
Street Team Joe. Joe Murray has coined the nickname since the second I met him. Just came, wandering in, post a Street Team event. He's like, you're Street Team Joe, and it, just kind of stuck.
Over the years, we have welcomed some talent from the Street Team to the main roster here at 98.5 The Sports Hub. And Joe, just the latest in that line there. But, professionally, are we rolling with this? I was reading an article the other day about, not that I listened to this, nor that I know exactly who this is, because my podcast interests are, other than the quality programs put on here by this station, are varied and niche. But the Kelsey Brothers podcast,
I'm familiar with it, yeah.
So there's a guy on the show who's known as like Intern Mike or something. Even though he's not an intern, he's been with the show for however many years they've been doing it. Not an intern at all, fully employed, probably has benefits from this association. We're rolling with Street Team Joe.
I think it's stuck with me, Sean. I think it's stuck with me. I've been called even since I've been promoted. I've been Street Team Joe. I'm no longer even on the Street Team. Yeah. Still Street Team Joe.
It's a badge that a man of the people would wear, and we've had our discussion that we're both from the School of Joe, School of Joe Murray specifically. Joe is a man of the people. Wouldn't the world be a better place if we all tried to pattern ourselves after Joe? So, Silver. Street Team Joe, till 8:30 here on the Hub. You can hit us up at 617-779-0985. I'm on X, at the Silver Fox, Silver with a Y. Joe's at Joe Ariano. I just gave him a follow. Let's get those followers up. There, Joe, I used to have, and this is probably nothing in the grand scheme of things, I used to have a whole 3,000 followers on Twitter before people started abandoning ship, and just jumping into lifeboats. But Skaz one night helped me get there to a chunky 3,000 followers. We had, it was like when like a public broadcasting station does like a pledge drive or, like Jerry Lewis telethon kind of thing. We were get silver to 3,000 followers. I got there, and then quickly after, Twitter became, like the internet's version of a transfer station where just refuse was dumped daily, and various people just decided to get their trash picked up at home instead of going there. But either way, we are there as well. And, hey, way to bury the lead. Classic silver. Way to start here. But the big news of today, I was all ready to do some Drake Maye MVP talk, coming off that debacle last night, authored by Matthew Stafford against the Falcons, which, I watched some and then I got sleepy as I do. It's school vacation week. My kids are they're just rolling me right now. Just rolling me. I said to Joe, I got in my truck, I turned on Barth and McCarthy, and it was relaxing. It was just a relaxing 35-minute drive from the Silver property to the Sports Hub studios here in Waltham. But Stefon Diggs pops up. I'm doing some prep this morning. And, all that prep just thrown out the window. And here's a guy that I have celebrated on these airwaves. I think he has been deserving of celebration for his contribution on the field and to a successful Patriots team. Let's face it here. In the pantheon of Patriots receivers, from longtime successes to one-year wonders, Steph Diggs' 2025 season gets you there. He is the first Pats receiver since Julian Edelman to post these kind of numbers. He's eclipsed anything that Jacoby Myers has ever done. I guess the question was always going to be, is this going to be like a Brandon Lloyd type of situation where he gets like one big year here and then he's off for some other pasture? Or, is he going to be around for a little bit? Never more cloudy of a question than it is right now. And I mentioned, credit to what he has produced on the field. His reliability and his penchant for the big play has taken Drake Maye's development from promising, which I think we would have seen this anyways. There's been games where Drake Maye has been able to be effective and thorough and, beat other teams without Stefon Diggs having a particularly great game. But that linear kind of development gets blown to exponential when you take into account the kind of games that Diggs is capable of coming up with. And, it's not just the big plays. There was, of course, in Sunday's game, the play where he head-topped the Jets D-back. And, again, I was listening to Joe on Pat's postgame. And Joe, former big man basketball player. I heard Joe talking to Dondero, and he just goes, yeah, it looks like Diggs was just going up for a rebound. That growl came out. It's a point of pride right there. He went up and he got that ball. He snatched that ball. Those are the big plays that he's capable of. But to me, the most impressive part has been the reliability. I've mentioned this before, and it's slightly adjusted, I think, since last week, but 83% catch rate about Stefon Diggs. Puka Nacua, for any receiver that has like actual numbers, not like a Greg Dortch or a Luther Burden of the world, any primary receiver in the NFL, Stefon Diggs' 83% catch rate is number one among receivers. Puka Nacua is next at 77%. That's way down. Diggs has been everything that you could have ever hoped for the Patriots. It seems that he has brought it on the sideline, keeping people engaged, being a part of the team effort. And then today, this comes out. Felony strangulation and domestic assault charges for Stefon Diggs. His attorneys in Dedham District Court today, attending a motion hearing. An arraignment is scheduled for January the 23rd. There's allegedly an incident that happened on December 2nd between him, again, the charge is he and a personal chef had it out. The charges or the accusations are graphic and unsettling, to say the least. And again, we abide by innocent until proven guilty here. I think generally in this country, to some degree, in the sensationalist realm of media, it is often guilty. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, okay. No. Okay, yeah, I guess he's innocent. We don't know what went down. Who knows if we ever will, what the actual facts are behind this accusation. And I want to stick to the facts. Like Jay-Z, I want to be just the facts while the rest of y'all just adjust the facts. We'll stick to the facts and what we know here. I don't want to play speculation radio. I don't want to entertain tinfoil hat calls about what's going on in, different chambers of Stefon Diggs' house. This is not a game of Clue. We're not going to get to the bottom of that, whether it's the candlestick or the rope in the conservatory. We do not know. But the court will suss those things out. I think the main thing that we need to go with here is, how does this affect the Patriots? This is a sports radio show. How does this affect the Patriots? There's two possible ways. One is on field, in that you lose Stefon Diggs. And B is kind of like a hybrid scenario here. Oh, there I go being Buzz from Home Alone. I do 1B. The other scenario is a hybrid situation where it affects the team off the field as a distraction coming off, a 13-3 start to the season here. And, potentially impacts on the field as well, whether that is in the absence of Diggs or in, a distracted team's going to do as a distracted team does. This has been a mission-focused, oriented team all season. Mike Vrabel has kept a tidy shop. And all of that, could come crashing down. Again, we're not here to speculate necessarily, but let's work through the scenarios, and that's what we'll do here tonight at 617-779-0985. One of the things that I think is possible, and again, you can't kind of put this in the light of other cases that have come before us, even though, there's the Jack Jones thing, there was the Jabril Peppers thing last year. Oh yeah. This is maybe the thing that kind of gets me the most out of this. Santa Claus brought a very cool Drake Maye, Stefon Diggs T-shirt to my son for Christmas, 7 years old. And I really hope that I don't have to have that conversation. But if I do, then I do. The thing that got me thinking about that was Jabril Peppers. And, that was last year. Well, it's like my son goes, "Where's Peppers? I don't see him out there today." I was like, he was 6 at the time that this happened. And I forget exactly how I explained it away. I think, I might have said there was some sort of injury or he was having some trouble with something and needed to get it figured out before he came back to the team. The sort of things you do when you don't want to explain domestic assault to a 6-year-old. Tough sledding out there for Patriots fans, tough sledding for parents, and tough sledding for the team as well. So I do want to dig into those sorts of things. There's a lot of ranges of perspectives that you can offer on something like this, and we'll get to them at 617-779-0985. We got Eli and Brighton leading off, and this, I think, is a key question right here. Eli, how are you this evening?
Good, how are you?
Doing okay, the best you can with this news, right?
I was wondering if he is responsible for the crime, will the NFL suspend for it or in the playoffs?
Yeah, no, I mean, that's, I think, an important perspective, Eli, and thank you for the call. Happy New Year to you. What is the NFL going to do here? With Peppers, Barth and McCarthy were just going over this the previous hour. With Peppers, the league took 2 days to put him on the exempt list. The exempt list is where NFL players go when we don't really know, what to do with them. It hasn't been decided in court, but the optics are bad, or there's enough that we know prior to the hearing where we just got to kind of take this guy off the field. Are we going there? Because if so, it's going to be impactful. It's going to be impactful to the Patriots' on-field performance and to their mission and to their ability to be an elite team. And it also probably tells us that the league knows something that hasn't come out yet that's unsettling enough to stick him there. So that's tough. It's real tough. The NFL thus far, and we'll get to the statements from the league and the team, but thus far, not really showing their cards on where they're going with this. No further comments at this time, so we'll see. But I do want to talk it over with you. Again, 617-779-0985. See Ralph lining up. See a couple other calls coming in. We'll get to you. We got a couple more hours until Celtics pregame. Let's, and hey, we'll entertain Drake Maye MVP talk. If you want to get to the Celtics Bruins as well, we'll go there. I got no qualms with doing any of that stuff. This is a free and open forum. But let's not get too wild with the Diggs theories. Let's just stick to the facts, please. Sean Silver, Street Team Joe, hanging with you till 8:30 here on the Sports Hub.
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub.
Moving your home or business? Avoid the headache, time, and uncertainty of hiring just any mover. Do what I did. Choose DN Van Lines. Call 1-800-51-MOVER.
Cars for Kids, the easiest way to get rid of your old car. Donate today, and your car can be picked up tomorrow. Donate now at carsforkids.com. That's cars with a K.
Drains by James is Eastern Mass's leader in drain cleaning and pipelining. And by now, you know they give a poop about your pipes. Drains by James wants you to know what else they give a poop about. Fast, clean, trustworthy service of your clogged pipes, drains, sinks, toilets, showers, you name it. Drains by James gives a poop about you, the customer. They're not electricians, not HVAC guys. They do drains. So go with them if you have a clog. You may not need them today, but when you do, Drains by James. We give a poop about your pipes.
Imperial Car's year-end doorbuster clearance event is going on now. Don't miss huge discounts across our entire inventory of over 2,000 new and used cars, trucks, and SUVs. We have something for every budget. Take advantage of savings up to 15% off MSRP, 0 down leases, and interest rates as low as 0% for 72 months. Plus, purchase now and get no payments for up to 3 months. Click ImperialCars.com or stop on by. Just look for the car in the sky.
This is Michael Toe, owner of the senior pro pickleball team, the Boston Dragons. When I first heard Dr. Franke of Boston Prolotherapy talk about regenerative medicine, it grabbed my attention. I've seen so many people, and felt it myself, dealing with painful knees, shoulders, hips, and backs. Nobody wants surgery or the downtime that comes with it. As a senior pro pickleball player, I know how common these injuries are, especially for players over 50. That's why I turned to Boston Prolotherapy. Dr. Franke helps athletes and everyday people heal painful joints naturally with non-surgical treatments that work. So when it came time to find the title sponsor for the Boston Dragons, the choice was easy. Our entire pickleball community can benefit from Dr. Franke's expertise and commitment to keeping players healthy and active. If you want to heal your joints without surgery, do what we did and choose Boston Prolotherapy. Online at bostonprolotherapy.com or call 833-GO-PROLO. That's 833-GO-PROLO.
Bob Beers here for Sports Etc. If you're looking for the best selection for everything hockey and more, see my friends at Sports Etc.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Need your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline Nasal Spray.
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Start the new year risk-free with Awaken 180. No subscriptions. You can pay as you go. Reach your goals this January. And as always, receive free support for life. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Quick, smelly.
It's Joe Murray on the Sports Hub.
Breaking news here this afternoon. The New England Patriots say they support Stefon Diggs as their star wide receiver faces strangulation and assault charges. I'm Kel Thompson, Boston 25, first to break this story today. Court documents show the incident happened on December 2nd. Diggs' lawyers just appeared in Dedham District Court over the phone. They are fighting to keep the police report from the public. They also say Diggs made a financial offer to the victim to resolve the dispute. The judge says she is taking it all under advisement and will make a decision shortly. We'll let you know when she does. Diggs is expected to be arraigned next month on January 23rd. That is 2 days before the AFC Championship game.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. On the way on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Sean Silva here, back on the Sports Hub, filling in for the Joe Murray Show on Tuesday night. I like to call it a typical Tuesday here, but it's not at all. Not at all. I've got a little more experience with this than I would wish to have. I've been at 98.5 The Sports Hub since 2014, right? So the big story, I think, when I started working here, getting my training reps in, was Ray Rice. So that was great, obviously. And then the following summer, very different in nature. But in terms of going down a legal pathway, I got to, my first year in Boston, Majors Boston Sports Radio, cut my teeth on Deflategate. So, always lots of fun getting into the legalities of things. My wife, a lawyer at the time, Joe and I would frequently ask questions of my wife about district courts and discovery and deflated footballs and all manner of things. This one a little different. The Stefon Diggs situation here. Patriots have released a statement on this, and I just had it up, and there it goes. I don't know. I had something up in my browser here, there it is. Patriots released a statement today on the accusations. Again, and I'll shout Dave on Twitter here. He says specifically, the difference between he and Peppers. Diggs hasn't been arrested yet. Unlike Peppers last year, that is a big difference. So, yeah. Talking about apples and oranges. Stefon Diggs has not been arrested. The team saying, New England Patriots aware of the accusations that have been made regarding Stefon Diggs. Stefon has informed the organization that he categorically denies the allegations. We support Stefon. We will continue to gather information and will cooperate fully with the appropriate authorities and the NFL as necessary. Out of respect for all parties involved, and given that this is an ongoing legal matter, we will have no further comment at this time. The three important words there: we support Stefon. We didn't hear that with the Jack Jones brought his toys to the airport. We didn't hear that with Jabril Peppers. And again, thanks to Dave pointing that out. We do have an apples and oranges situation here. But we do have We do have a situation where there's some serious charges against a Patriots player And, we're all wondering, hey, are these founded? What's going to happen on January 23rd? January 23rd. 2 days before the AFC Championship game. So I've heard that the judge may consider postponing this thing till March. We may be in the dark for a while, but the key question is, what's the NFL? Is the NFL going to pull the trigger here and put Diggs on the commissioner's exempt list? And that's tough for your team. Trying to find the NFL statement on this. I had it up. Like I said, I had some tabs open. Never a good idea. Too many tabs. Sending too many packets here on the old laptop. But the NFL basically had no comment at this time. Will they make a decision here in a couple of days, as we head into the Miami game, which is certainly less important than the big picture here in two ways. The big picture on a, human level. You've got an athlete here who has acquired some level of renown in the league and was winning a space in fans' hearts. Did this guy do that thing? That's not right. If he did do that thing, and obviously, to the victim, we feel for that. The other thing, obviously, on the field and how it affects the New England Patriots going forward. So we'll look from both of those different angles this evening at 617-779-0985. Ralph in Cranston has been holding patiently. I'll send it over to Ralph here. Ralph, we got you?
Good evening.
Good evening.
It's so deflating to Patriot fans. I mean, it was so high, and the Patriot haters that I'm sure are still out there jumping with glee. But, it just doesn't make much sense here. Now, this happened allegedly December 2nd. This guy knew he was under a microscope. Everybody's hailing him. If it happened like the allegations are, I mean, there's something wrong with them, because why would you put yourself through it? Now, there's so much more that doesn't make sense, because I mean, would she not leave his house and he might have pushed her? Did something happen in any way? And you got a situation where you have his pregnant girlfriend Kraft's box and everybody's happy for it. Something doesn't make sense here. Now, you have an allegation with no proof. You have no witnesses. You have no camera. You have no injury. And going forward, it seems, but you hit it on the head. See, he's not charged. He's facing charges. Like they said, if he was charged, he probably would have been arraigned already. So now you're trying to pay this girl. If I was him, if I was the team, I really would stay with him. I'd say, you know what, innocent to proven guilty. We don't know what's going on here. And also, I would not pay her 10 cents if I did not do it, and it was a dispute about money he owed. I would say, you know what, I am not going to pay this girl and look guilty in people's eyes. I'm not doing it. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't pay her. And it's sad, and I feel bad for us because it's deflating to us. It's terrible.
Yeah, sure, Ralph, and I agree with you on that level. It is deflating, and I can go on and on about Santa Claus just brought my kid a T-shirt that has Stefon Diggs' likeness on it. What a bummer that I might have to have that talk with my 7-year-old. It does kind of pale, in the big picture to, hey, did this person feel like their life was threatened? Were they injured? In an imbalanced situation here where potentially, allegedly, a professional athlete laid hands on, an employee of his, allegedly. And again, these are just charges, but we work with what we work with here. It's sad to fans. It's sad, again, I'm always fascinated by, I guess maybe fascinated wouldn't be the right word, because obviously everybody followed Karen Reed around here through the last however many months. I grew up in that weird little court TV era where we had, the Menendez brothers was a big thing in like the early 90s, right? which is sports related because if you have an 89, 90, or 90-91 NBA Hoops Mark Jackson card, there is a picture of the Menendez brothers sitting courtside, clearly using the courtside seats that their parents had before they offed them. And then, obviously you had OJ. So, everybody suddenly becomes a legal expert. I get in my dentist chair in Quincy and, talking with the hygienist about the Karen Reed trial this summer. And, I try not to get too into it. But it's just natural that humans are going to want to know what happened. Because, we place our trust in athletes, entertainers, performers for our favorite team to represent us, to show the rest of the sporting universe what we're about as fans, right? So that's why we blanch at deflated football accusations or camera spying accusations or things like that. These sorts of things, really difficult to digest on a number of levels. Let's go to Kyle in New Hampshire real quick. Kyle.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm hanging in there, Kyle. How are you today?
I'm good, thanks. Wanted to discuss this situation sort of similar to, based on what the Patriots had said, that they support Diggs, and sort of comparing their actions today versus how they've acted in the past. Obviously, it's a completely different situation from what they've dealt with in the past, especially bringing up, obviously, the situation involving Aaron Hernandez. But it's something along the lines of they immediately dropped that. So I think in some sense, they immediately dropped Hernandez, I should say. Right. Obviously, while many people can say they don't condone violence by any means, and I agree with that 100%, I think I could speak with everybody regarding that. Just the lack of the arrest, the lack of a lot of everything, including the statement from Stefon Diggs' attorney today, certainly leads me to believe that, there's potentially nothing.
Yeah, I mean, and thank you, Kyle, for the call. Potentially nothing. Sure, it's potentially nothing. It is telling that the Patriots have taken this stance. And I kind of wonder, are they doing it because of the evidence that's been presented to them? Are they doing it because of the position they're in here, knowing that this is a key player right now? It's a lot easier if this team were 6-10 at this point to just say, too much hassle. Whether the allegations are true or not, just too much. We already had to do the whole, standing on our head to get over the boat video from the summer, right? Now we have this, just too much from this particular player. That's something that maybe you do at 6-10 a little bit easier than you do at 13-3. So it's interesting to see how they played that, but just because we don't know right now and we haven't seen proof, we have to be careful to not say that this is to keep away from saying that this is nothing. I think we want it to be. We want the facts, I think, to align a little bit more with Stefon Diggs' narrative about this event, whatever it is, alleged event. Because, again, Stefon Diggs is representing us. He's on the T-shirt that my kid's wearing. He's the receiver for our team, who is hopefully making a run at the Super Bowl this winter. But we need to be very careful about just saying, I don't see any proof here. Something happened. I think you may have seen the texts that have come out. There was a text that was emitted, and that was the whole thing today. The attorneys wanted the, I forget what it was called. I should know better. My wife, the lawyer, was they were trying to suppress the evidence or seal the file so it didn't get out there, and pound the evidence. That was the terminology, right? And turned out that some stuff did get out there. The judge did not agree to that. So something happened. The question is, where does it align with where does it align on the truth and where does it align for, what we want to happen, right? 617-779-0985. More Stefon Diggs talk. Drake Maye MVP talk would have been the topic du jour after Matt Stafford threw 3 picks, including 2 pick sixes, and the Rams have stumbled and bumbled to the finish line this year. We'll get to that. Sean Silver here on the Hub.
You're listening to Joe. You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5. You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Sports Hub headlines presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
All right, news broke today that Patriots receiver Stefon Diggs is facing felony strangulation and misdemeanor assault charges stemming from an alleged incident December 2nd. Diggs' attorneys attended a motion hearing in Dedham District Court today. An arraignment is scheduled for January 23rd. That's the Friday before the AFC Championship game. Patriots released a statement today saying they support their player. Elsewhere in the NFL, former Pro Bowl cornerback Trayvon Diggs, that's the brother of Stephon Diggs, was released today by the Cowboys. Bruins off tonight. They lost their 6th straight last night in Calgary, 2-1. They'll look to flip the script tomorrow night in Edmonton. And the Celtics are back at it after having their 4-game win streak snapped the other night. They're in beautiful Salt Lake City tonight to face the Jazz. John Wallach and Cedric Maxwell bring you the call at 9 with pregame at 8:30 throughout the BetMGM 98.5 The Sports Hub Celtics Radio Network. Your headlines brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Enjoy quick and convenient vehicle maintenance this month. Visit NewEnglandOilChange.com for 15% off your drive-thru oil change at Valvoline Instant Oil Change, the official oil change of busy people. I'm Sean Silver, Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update just after 7.
Hey, it's Hardy. If your attic insulation's outdated, call Revise, a Mass Save partner. They'll do a no-cost home energy assessment, and you could save 75 to 100% on insulation and air sealing. Don't wait. Visit callrevise.com or call 800-885-SAVE.
Eat, drink, and chill at the Sylvan Street Grill.
The Sylvan Street Grill Thursday night Bruins ticket giveaways are back, courtesy of Coors Light, the official beer of the Boston Bruins. Every Thursday at the Sylvan Street Grill in Peabody, enjoy great food, drinks, and a chance to win tickets to the Bruins. No purchase necessary. Must be 21 or older. Giveaways may discontinue at any time.
Eat, drink, and chill at the Sylvan Street Grill.
What's up, everybody? It's Adam and your boy Lou.
Thursday night, New Year's Eve. You're in the foxhole here. Joe Murray taking the night off. Good for him. Sean Silver here till Celtics pregame at 8:30. We'll have John Wallach and Cedric Maxwell on the call tonight, so should be a real treat. Saw Wallach a little while ago. He's a man about the building. Maybe you found some of those chocolates that were in the kitchen area. Joe, I hope maybe, if you are so inclined, you availed yourself, got some chocolates.
Oh, I found the chocolates. I also found the candy bowl, out back. So there's Kit Kats out there, Snickers.
Is this an active candy bowl?
This is an active candy bowl that's usually full.
Okay.
I'll lead you to it during the break.
You work with Street Team, Joe, you get the hookup. I love this.
You want a T-shirt, too? I can get that done.
All my T-shirts, let's see. What kind of merch do I have here from 11 years at 98.5 The Sports Hub? I have a sweatshirt, hooded sweatshirt, and I have a T-shirt that is cracked and frayed. Man, I probably got that out of the merch closet in like 2015 or 16. I need a hookup. I need some merch. I mean, not that I'm like number one on the list of people who need merch around here. I'm the guy who's working December 30th at night. But I need some merch. I need to sport it proudly. I need to go to the hardware store and let the person behind the counter know. Yes, I'm that guy. You might know me. You recognize the voice? It's the dulcet tones. Let's go to Tom in Framingham here on the hub with more Stefon Diggs talk as we roll along. Tom, how are you?
Doing good. How you doing?
Yeah, same as I say to everybody. We're kind of getting through this here, right, Tom?
Absolutely. So my whole thing is, I don't believe the Patriots would have put this out without talking to the league. Mm-hmm. I don't think Kraft knows everyone in the league. He's been a big partner with them. I don't think they would get caught with their pants down by putting a statement out and have the league suspend them. So I think there's very little chance Diggs gets suspended unless something else comes out, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and that's going to be the question now, Tom, and thanks for the call. Between now and January 23rd, is something else going to be getting out? Will we be learning more? Obviously, this is not the sort of thing that just goes away. It's going to be in everybody's mind as we roll through a Patriots playoff run here, hopefully a run, and not just, a walk and then a don't walk sign. But there's a lot of people who say, there's still this residual. The league is out for the Patriots, right? Based on past experiences, hey, they've been pretty bad for the last 5 or 6 years. I think at this point it's they moved back into the pack of normalcy here, if you will. They reset their clock on shady stuff, and now this pops up, and it's like, okay, I agree. I think that the organization has to handle this very carefully. I believe the team is rightfully very image conscious, wants to do the right thing. Right? We've mentioned, and again, apples and oranges. We've mentioned other situations where the team has been either proactive about getting ahead of this and cutting ties with the player, or if they're reactive, they do not endorse the player's cause. And today they did that. They support the player who categorically denies the accusations. Going to be interesting hearing more from Mike Vrabel about this in the coming days. We got Ben in Norfolk with a call on Vrabel here. Ben, how are you this afternoon?
Hey, Sean, how you doing?
Hey, that's a familiar voice. I'm well. How are you?
Oh, a familiar voice. Oh, well, that's a tough break with the T-shirt for Will. Sorry. But, yeah, I think, you don't have to throw it away yet.
Well, we'll see.
Normally, I totally disagree with the comments from the caller, but, yeah, a communal candy bowl in December is a terrible idea. I'm home with a house full of COVID, and, you're going to be too if you take your hands on that, so keep your hands out of there.
Thank you, Ben. My wife probably appreciates the coaching right there.
Yeah, I just care about you, that's all. But anyways, I think this is I'm with you. I think it's a huge moment for Vrabel. And being his first year, he's already dealt with the Pink Pony Club there in the summer, and now he's got this. I think he would have, if the allegations were tremendously bad, I think they wouldn't have taken him December 2nd to now to get out. But I think Vrabel would have stepped in and not allow him to play. It just seems like a class act like that. So hopefully, I'm hoping for the best. I'm with you. I think something happened, but I'm hoping it's not too bad. I think you're doing a great job. Go Celts. Go Norfolk Blazers.
Go Norfolk
Hi,
Blazers.
Sean.
Hey, Charlie.
Hi.
Hey.
All right.
Hope you're having a good night, guys.
Hey, have a good one, Sean. Thank you.
You as well. Oh, there we go. The Norfolk Blazers represent tonight. Coach Ben and Charlie. But a good point. The timing is interesting. My English teacher in high school always used to say there's a better word choice than interesting. But really, no, this is all encapsulating, I think. You cannot come into this and say, oh, the incident happened on December 2nd. She didn't report it until, what was it, the 16th or 17th? 6, 7. Yeah, one of those two things. You can't have that and come to the conclusion, oh, well, she didn't report it right away. Well, clearly there's something up there. No, it has been established. The point was raised last hour. Victims do not always come forward right away. There are a variety of reasons why they may not. That should not and does not affect the veracity of those claims. Again, allegations, claims. However, the fact that the news item is breaking today, and we played Boston 25 coming back from break, where a lot of this came from today, to their credit. The news, you do a quick Twitter search, at which I did this morning, and I saw a December 24th post from, who knows, some dude out there on Twitter who said that, Diggs assaulted his chef and this is going to be a big story. December 24th is now 6 days ago. And trust me, during Christmas break in the Silver household, that feels like a long time ago right now, December 24th. So if this has been known about out there, the news break coming today is interesting. Again, using that word. It's a kind of a cop-out term. I could use better diction here, right? But there must have been some due diligence taken by the team and the league to get whatever they could about the situation and then take a stance. And saying we support the player is a stance. It's obviously if things turn here and Stefon Diggs is found guilty, I think you'll see the team take the appropriate action, right? But that's a statement of, that's just a true statement of support. They used the word, we support Stefon. You said it. If you didn't say it other times, you said it today. So maybe that means something here. Maybe they know something that we don't. I almost always assume that. And again, I work in sports radio. Walking around these halls, there are various people in positions similar to and different from me for various reasons who know lots of stuff that I don't know and you don't know, that we just don't know as fans. Because somebody's always got something. It's like my buddy who's, oh, the Red Sox, they're not spending any money. I can't believe that they're not going to. You don't think that the agent planted that story? There's a team, there's an agent, there's a league, there's somebody who's behind every little tidbit of news that comes out. And in this case, well, the police are involved too. So we'll see where we get with Stefon Diggs. 617-779-0985. Plenty of room to talk about Drake Maye on the MVP tip. Plenty of room to, hey, maybe we'll do a Celtics at 7. Sean Silver here. I'm hanging with Street Team Joe. He's an NBA head. We'll get into that coming up. Joe Murray out tonight. We are in on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
More Joe Murray coming up on The Sports Hub.
Want the lowest price on name brand tires? Town Fair Tire beats all the competition. We beat the wholesale clubs. We beat online prices. We beat all local tire dealers. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Town Fair Tire.
At Service Credit Union, trust isn't just a value, it's a promise to stand with our community heroes. I'm Charlie McAvoy, and I'm proud to partner with Service Credit Union to support the health, safety, and financial well-being of first responders. Become a member today at servicecu.org and join thousands making a difference.
Build the perfect holiday meal at Whole Foods Market. From traditional holiday must-haves to creative twists, everything must pass their strict ingredient standards. Grab sales on their impressive centerpiece mains with no antibiotics ever. Aim to please with limited-time desserts like chocolate bourbon pecan pie. And ring in 2026 with sales on quality seafood. Shop for your celebration at Whole Foods Market with so many ways to save. Terms apply.
At Planet Fitness, we're not waiting for the new year to give it everything we've got. We're finishing strong with 24-hour access at most clubs. Join today for $1 down, $15 a month, and pay nothing until January 17th. Deal ends December 31st. See club for details.
Anyone can join the fun at New England's largest snow tubing park, Neshoba Valley Snow Tubing Park in Westford, Mass. 18 lanes of snow tubing, 100% snowmaking capabilities. For more information, visit skineshoba.com.
Men, it's the new year, and for many of us, it's a time of deciding to make positive changes in our lives. This is Dale for Northeast Men's Health, and if you're suffering with erectile dysfunction and are tired of the frustration and embarrassment ED causes, you should call Northeast Men's Health today, because there probably isn't a better resolution you can make than to be done with ED. You see, ED doesn't just affect you, it can also affect your partner, even if they don't talk about it. But here's some great news.
I lived in the South End for a time. It was in Southie. And they played at a bar, and I was there with a bunch of friends, and about midway through the set, who walks in but number 00, the Chief, Robert Parrish. So this is I'm like 23 at the time. Not saying that 23-year-olds aren't capable of showing better judgment, but I'm sloshed off, gimlets, my drink of choice. Sloshed off gimlets. I stagger over to the Chief, and I think I said something like, "Hey, have you been working in the low post with Al Jefferson, teaching him some moves?" And I believe his answer, it was polite, but it was some version of no. But he did take a picture, and the picture of me and the Chief with my bloodshot eyes is available in my parents' den back in Dennis, Massachusetts. So if anybody wants to make the trip, you can see the evidence that I met the Chief on New Year's Eve. Oh, but we've all been there. We've all gotten after it. That was a cover charge situation. I was not really keen on the cover charge for the New Year's thing. Much more into the house party sort of deal.
Wait, what was your drink of choice again?
The gimlet.
So what is a gimlet?
Lime juice and vodka, or lime juice and gin. Just Rose's lime. The key is it's sweet, and it masks the sinful nature of the tons of gin that they will pour into it. So it'll get you popped real quick. So at a wedding, like 2 gimlets, I'm sailing on that dance floor.
All right, Sean, I might have to take your advice on this. I've never had a gimlet.
It's an old lady drink. I will cop to that. It's an old lady drink. But you know what? Old ladies know how to get hammered. So there's a little tip, the gimlet.
My favorite drink's a Mai Tai, so I'm a no better person than you.
Oh, so good. So good. It reminds me of one of my favorite nights of 2025, the Kowloon anniversary party. That was several Mai Tais came my way, so much that I had to visit the food truck at the end of the night just to get more, get something in there to soak this up. Just oodles and oodles of food at like 11 o'clock at night, and then at some point I was like, all right, I'm better, I'm okay.
Who was at the Kowloon?
Who was at the Kowloon? Well, Joe, of course. I sat down at a table at one point. John Cena's father was wandering through. I introduced myself. Joe made sure to mention that I had once been at a professional wrestling match, which John Cena Sr. may or may not have found interesting, but it was mentioned. Oh, yeah, we were hanging out with Barry for Mr. Sid. Great time. But the band choice, and I talked at length about this because I think Paul Perillo and I did a show shortly after the Kowloon anniversary, was local R&B legends Tavares. You may or may not know of Tavares, but they had a ton of hits in the 70s, and I was, unbeknownst to me, how many songs I recognize. They were up there. And then Starship. Also, kind of the offshoot of Jefferson Airplane or Jefferson Starship. I don't know if you're a music head.
I'm not a particular music head, but I have heard of these bands.
So
Joe made fun of me because I didn't know what grunge music was, so that's where I stand.
Oh, man. Got to play to a certain audience. Joe and I think, are about less than a year apart in age. So our conversations are very, we grew up in the monoculture, right? For you, it's a little different here. I got to tread carefully. Mentioning Starship to a 29-year-old. It's all right. We're having a good time here. 17 past the hour as we roll along in the Joe Show. 8:30, we'll be handing it over to John Wallach and Max tonight, calling the game Celtics and Jazz. Let's do a little Celtics next segment. Let's do a little Celtics. If people want to jump on, they may. 617-779-0985. If you do not and want to talk Patriots or literally anything else, then go right ahead. Again, 617-779-0985. We had a healthy array of callers in the first hour. Let's make hour number 2 something that goes down the annals of all-time great December 30th Sports Hub shows, which is a very, very specific category here. Sean Silver, Street Team Joe Ariano hanging out till 8:30 on the Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. On the way on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Moving your home or business? Avoid the headache, time, and uncertainty of hiring just any mover. Do what I did and choose DN Van Lines. Online at dnvanlines.com.
Cars for Kids, your trusted charity for car donations, also accepts donations of boats, RVs, motorcycles, and real estate. Call today, 877-CARS-4-KIDS.
What's up, everybody? It's Adam and my boy Lou from Central 44 Jeep Dodge Ram and Rainham. The holidays are here and the season's heating up. During our wrap-up-the-year sales event, we're delivering a holiday deal that's an absolute touchdown. Right now, get a 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee Altitude for $279 a month for 42 months with $39.95 down, 7,500 miles per year. Wrap, ready, and perfect for those holiday road trips. Central 44 is minutes from anywhere. So whether you're heading to Foxborough, Boston, or dashing around to holiday events with the kids, make sure to stop by. Tell them, Lou. Central 44 Jeep Dodge.
I do think that the streak is a little bit of a problem right now. I'm not trying to hot take this, but I really think that Jaylen Brown would be over the 30-point streak if the Celtics had gotten a win in Portland the other night. Because ultimately, weirdly, the Eastern Conference is for the taking. If you believe that the New York Knicks or the Detroit Pistons are for real, a real NBA Finals team, stand on up. 617-779-0985. And I'm not saying that the Celtics are going to necessarily represent the East in the finals. What I am saying is, why not? Why not? So a loss like that to Portland is impactful. And I asked the same of Jake Seymour, Green Teamers podcast the other night. I'll ask the same of Joe tonight. Was the Portland game a reminder that maybe the Celtics have been playing a little bit above their heads of late?
I think the Celtics, they're not a team that can't play with max effort every night, and I think that's what the game reminded them of.
Good point. Good point. You didn't get it across the board. And it was notable. And, the Celtics, and there are going to be some nights where there's max effort, but the execution isn't there. The dynamics of this team are different. The roles that these players are being forced to play are unfamiliar in ways from previous years. But if Jaylen goes out tonight and scores 29 points and the Celtics right the ship and have a crisp game with contributions, 1 through 7, 1 through 8 on their roster in getting that win tonight, I think I would be great with it, and Jaylen Brown would be great with it too. I mean, where are you? I mean, there's a couple of dynamics going on right now, Joe. One is award season, right? So Jaylen Brown named Eastern Conference Player of the Week for the second time this season, right? So that's great. It, truly a compliment of what he has brought to the table this year. But we've also got the Eastern Conference All-Star voting on the table. And he pops in 6th place on the All-Star voting. My friend Brian has a hot take that Jaylen Brown should be garnering MVP votes right now, which, you know what? I agree with. I completely agree with that. I'm not saying he should be the MVP, but who is doing more right now to haul their team around on a nightly basis than Jaylen Brown? And yet he pops up 6th in the Eastern Conference vote getting behind New York Knicks. Rock the vote, Celtics fans. Get Jaylen Brown out there. But as much attention as this has driven to Jaylen Brown, I think, and I don't know how you feel, Joe, I would just prefer, again, great that he's getting his flowers, but I would prefer, and I kind of think that he would have preferred to just, get the business done.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I feel like he is not one for too much of the spotlight, although he has been doing more, like he streams and stuff now.
Sure.
But I would say he should be getting MVP votes. Jay Stu said that yesterday. I co-sign. I'm not sure of our Jake Seymour's thoughts over here. But, I think he should be getting MVP votes. He should be getting all NBA votes. I think he's having that type of season.
Yeah.
Is it wrong of me to look ahead and, this has been the question that's popping up with all this success. Is the Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum dynamic going to come up once again once Jason Tatum is back, hopefully this year?
Well, it'll be... I trust with the amount of reps that these two have gotten since a very young age that they kind of know when to defer to the other. And in 2024, not only did they defer to each other, but they deferred to other talented players who were on the roster who had established records. They all kind of deferred to each other. And, I know it was a bit overblown because obviously Jason Tatum has been the anointed one for the Celtics since his first summer league, right? But... and it was like, oh, man, he's sacrificing so much. It was a couple shots a game. In the end, it was a couple shots a game. And you look at Jaylen Brown, it's kind of like, despite being older, despite, being supremely talented, he was always kind of looked at as the Robin to Jason Tatum's Batman. You would think after 8 or 9 years of that would grate on you a little bit. So, yeah, he is showing out this year and showing what he's fully capable of. The intriguing dynamic to me is that when Tatum comes back in the spring, Jaylen Brown is going to have to lead because Jason Tatum's not going to be capable of playing those minutes and playing that hard. Again, best case scenario, it comes back in the spring. And then, look at the situation that we're in, too, though. Talk about being just incredibly spoiled as basketball fans. We head into the following training camp after Jason Tatum's return from an Achilles, and the two of them are trying to kind of reestablish their pecking order and figure out their dynamic again. Two guys who, have been argued for MVP merits in different seasons. So it's still an embarrassment of riches. You can have that discussion. I don't buy the discussion. There were always talks about, well, can you win with two wings, right? Like Paul George and Kawhi, and that was a failure. And there have been a variety of other, sorts of situations that have failed. It's usually dominant big man and, wing, or point guard and power forward, or, something like that. If you're going to have a big two or a big three or whatever. But, I look at it as we are getting a gift right now that we never expected that we were going to get this season. And that's legitimate winning Celtics basketball. It's really cool.
And I think the biggest surprise to me, Sean, is, we always knew Jaylen Brown could score, right? But I never knew he could develop into this type of playmaker. And that's what you're seeing this season. He's making all the right passes. He's much more aggressive on the boards. He's getting everybody involved. He's obviously been a great leader. And, he's expanded his shot selection, too, and he's become more of a mid-range player. He's exactly what Tatum's always been, the playmaker of the Celtics, getting everyone involved. And now you can see Jaylen Brown can do that, too. So I'm very excited to see what they could do together when that happens.
1,000% with you on that, Joe. And I mean, it just, the evolution of the Celtics is what interests me most. Because the problem was, prior to 2024, that the Celtics offense was too predictable, that they didn't have anybody really beyond Tatum and Brown that they could go to, so the defense could really key in, particularly on Tatum, and they just knew he was getting the last shot every time, and sometimes he hit it, most of the times he didn't, right? 2024, it's beautiful basketball. It's like soccer. It was like total football. It was just everything came together. Anybody on the court could do anything at any time. That took a step back last year. Obviously, there were a variety of reasons for that. Porzingis' health, Tatum crumbling to the ground in the Eastern Conference semis. But them finding it out and maybe having a different little wrinkle here where maybe the other teams are saying, oh, I don't know if the ball is going to Tatum on this play. Maybe it's going to go to Jaylen. And what about Jaylen's mid-range game? And what about Jaylen's passing ability? We always thought he was the kind of guy that we could drive into turnovers. That's not as much of an issue anymore. The turnovers still are an issue because he's being asked to do so much, so it's simply a volume-based thing. Want to get Justin and Lynn's thoughts on the Celtics before we hit the break. Justin.
Hey, Sean Silver, it's Justin. I just have a thought on the Celtics that I feel like at times when the Celtics play together, they have a letdown against lesser teams, and that concerns me a lot, and I'm just concerned about that, Sean.
Yeah, Justin, I think it's a fair point, and thank you for the call. A happy New Year to you, Justin. And yeah, to Joe's point, the Celtics are they need to be a max effort team to win games. That's just the way it is. And Joe Mazzulla is that kind of coach, so I think this is really the perfect sort of situation for a team like this year. Will they get, run out of gas in March, April? We hear all the talk all the time about load management and are these teams tanking and things like that, right? The Celtics clearly not doing any of that. So, yeah, when the rest of the league is not doing that and you're playing breakneck most of the time, we'll see how it goes. But, yeah, not really a whole lot of room for letdown with this team. We knew it with the roster construction. But I think most importantly what we've been saying is guys who, because they're playing for their jobs in a role maybe on the next successful Celtics team, like a Jordan Walsh or an Ugo Gonzalez. Josh Minot showed some flashes earlier in the year, even though we're talking about maybe, the Celtics need a legit big man. Oh, yeah. But like Neemias Queta's taken steps forward this year. Garza has been more, I think, than a lot of people have bargained for. Because those guys are playing and there's, a real attachment to that. There's a real goal in mind here for not only for the success of the team, but also their career path. that we're seeing more often than not them going for it. I would like to think that they would take the lessons from what happened in Portland and just go in here and blow out the Jazz tonight. But we'll see. 617-779-0985. We'll take more from you on whatever. Less than an hour until Wallach and Max are calling the Celtics and Jazz. Until then, Sean Silver, Joe Arano here on Sports Hub.
You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5. You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Sports Hub headlines presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
All right, the big news today. You've probably all heard it by now, and maybe you're getting around to reacting on it live on the air, but Patriots receiver Stefon Diggs facing felony strangulation and misdemeanor assault charges stemming from an alleged incident that happened on December 2nd between him and his personal chef. Diggs' attorneys attended a hearing in Dedham District Court today. The judge did not suppress the evidence in the police report, and some of that is getting out onto the interwebs by now. An arraignment for Stefon Diggs scheduled for January 23rd, which is the Friday before the AFC Championship game. The Patriots, for their part, releasing a statement saying that they support their player. Elsewhere in the NFL, former Pro Bowl quarterback Trayvon Diggs, yes, Stefon's brother, released today by the Cowboys. Celtics back at tonight after having their 4-game win streak snapped in Portland. They are in Salt Lake City facing the Jazz with John Wallach and Cedric Maxwell on the call. 9 o'clock tonight, pregame 8:30 throughout the BetMGM 98.5 The Sports Hub Celtics Radio Network. Your headlines brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Enjoy quick and convenient vehicle maintenance this month. Visit NewEnglandOilChange.com for 15% off your drive-through oil change at Valvoline Instant Oil Change, the official oil change of busy people. I'm Sean Silver, Boston's Over Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Next update around 8.
At Planet Fitness, we're not waiting for the new year to give it everything we've got. We're finishing strong with 24-hour access at most clubs. Join today for $1 down, $15 a month, and pay nothing until January 17th. Deal ends December 31st. See club for details.
I know, Nelson. I'm telling him. Winter doesn't knock politely. It kicks the door in. That's why Super Service Today gives your home more than a tune-up. It gets a winter defense plan. A deep camera look inside your furnace's heart, an examination of the drains and filters, and pressure tests that spot trouble before it's too late. It's $199 and also makes you a Total Care member, where you get 2 free visits per year, priority scheduling, and peace of mind. Because when winter bares its teeth, they've got your back. Book now at superservicetoday.com.
SuperServiceToday.com.
At M&T Bank, we're continuously working to provide value to our customers. Like Lou, the CEO of OOFOS, a revolutionary footwear brand.
I think the thing I like most about working with M&T Bank is knowing they care. They sincerely care about us as a company. It's not just about the business transaction. They personally care about our business and our success and would make decisions that go above and beyond to achieve that.
See what banking together can do for you at mtb.com/together. Member FDIC.
Patriot Place is your holiday destination for dining, shopping, and entertainment. Score gifts for everyone on your list at Vineyard Vines, Bass Pro Shops, Ulta Beauty, and more. Or give the gift of choice with a Patriot Place gift card available online or in person. Gather with friends and family at Estella, The Harp, Tavolino, and more. Experience the joy of outdoor skating at Winter Skate. Or try your hand at pickleball at 11's Indoor Courts. Download the Advantage app today and start planning your visit. Patriot Place. Shop, dine, enjoy the holidays.
Imperial Car's year-end doorbuster clearance event is going on now. Don't miss huge discounts across our entire inventory of over 2,000 new and used cars, trucks, and SUVs. We have something for every budget. Take advantage of savings up to 15% off MSRP, 0 down leases, and interest rates as low as 0% for 72 months. Plus, purchase now and get no payments for up to 3 months. Click ImperialCars.com or stop on by. Just look for the car in the sky.
Hey, it's Zoe. Listen, it's cold. Real New England cold. And when that happens, we all run inside and crank the heat. But before you breathe that warm and cozy air, do you know what's hiding in your ducts? I'm talking pounds of nasty stuff, dead insects, dust. pet dander, basically a mini haunted house living in your vents. And that's why my guy Chris and his team at Green Home Solutions are the real MVPs. They heal your system with antimicrobial treatment, hospital-grade disinfection, and boom, the bug poop, the grossness, it's all gone. So do your lungs a favor, call 1-800-SOLUTIONS, tell them Zoe sent you.
You live for this. The wins, the losses, the slam dunks, and the buzzer beaters. The dream that this is your team's year. Hope, it's what keeps you coming back. So you represent with anticipation and with pride. Because when everything's on the line, your support means everything. That's why the NBA Store is here to support you. Check out the largest selection of official NBA gear at NBAstore.com. A Fanatics experience.
This is Michael Toe, owner of the senior pro pickleball team, the Boston Dragons. When I first heard Dr. Franke of Boston Prolotherapy talk about regenerative medicine, it grabbed my attention. I've seen so many people, and felt it myself, dealing with painful knees, shoulders, hips, and backs. Nobody wants surgery or the downtime that comes with it. As a senior pro pickleball player, I know how common these injuries are, especially for players over 50. That's why I turned to Boston Prolotherapy. Dr. Franke helps athletes and everyday people heal painful joints naturally with non-surgical treatments that work. So when it came time to find the title sponsor for the Boston Dragons, the choice was easy. Our entire pickleball community can benefit from Dr. Franke's expertise and commitment to keeping players healthy and active. If you want to heal your joints without surgery, do what we did and choose Boston Prolotherapy. Online at bostonprolotherapy.com or call 833-GO-PROLO. That's 833-GO-PROLO.
Satisfy seafood cravings with New Year's savings at Whole Foods Market. Prime members save 20% on all king crab through January 1st. Serve a head-turning protein at your New Year's dinner. While supplies last, shop in-store or online. Terms apply.
L&F is a veteran-owned company offering premier services such as heat pumps, panel upgrades, and more. Visit lfelectricalservice.com.
Don't get sparked with high prices.
Felger and Maz are just his pregame.
They've been getting wholesale deals for years.
It's Joe Murray on the Sports Hall.
The Sports Hub. That track by Buffalo Tom. Boston band, Buffalo Tom. Sean Silver here with you till 8:30 when we go to Celtics pregame in Salt Lake City. What was I going to say? Yeah, that song by Buffalo Tom is called Summer. Summer is long gone right now. You know what, though? I kind of like the darkness this time of year. Not the band. Well, I always enjoy the darkness, but the band. But you know how the sun's not like really stressing you out to come up at 5:30 in the morning. It takes its time. It takes its sweet time. You kind of see it coming up over the horizon there. You know, depending on what line of work you're in, maybe you're a third shifter, maybe you're a second shifter. Maybe you're someone like me who's looking out the window at sunrise. But I am often. It's kind of cool because my morning routine starts early. I'm up. I'm checking sports news. I'm getting some emails handled. Getting the domestic stuff taken care of before my kids get up and start their thing. Those early morning hours when it's just dark and peaceful. I'm okay with that. But it will be summer once again at some point. And maybe that time, or maybe on Friday when I'm in, we'll do Red Sox talk. I don't know. We'll see. A kind of an uneventful off season thus far, but things could happen. I mean, they've made a couple trades. It's better than nothing. Things can happen. Give it time. It's a long off season. 617-779-0985. We talked about Jaylen Brown as a potential MVP vote getter. How about Drake Maye's MVP candidacy? And I'm just pulling this up again. I want to take a look at the All-Star voting for the NBA. What do we got here? Maybe we'll come back to that. Fan voting. Jaylen Brown 6 behind behind professional grifter Donovan Mitchell, Cade Cunningham, Jalen Brunson, another one who just falls on the floor all game, Tyrese Maxey, definitely deserving, and Giannis. Yeah. What about Drake Maye? What about Drake Maye? Drake Maye has benefited from the infrastructure here in New England, certainly, because he has capable guys around him, or has had capable guys around him, in a Stefon Diggs, today's topic du jour, in a Hunter Henry, among all the guys from that 2021 offseason splurge. Did you think that it would be Hunter Henry who would give you the most value out of that and still be here after all this time? Ramondre Stevenson and Travion Henderson, I think the folks out there who tell you that maybe they can, be bottled up by a good defense in the playoffs, that might be the case. But they've been giving you numbers, and you can't argue that, so shout out run game. And Ramondre Stevenson, despite the fumbles, a professional running back. And the offensive line, generally great for most of this season. Now, we'll see where the Stefon Diggs thing goes and how that impacts personnel. But you've had injuries too. Matt Collins, who we may not see again. You've had an injury to Kayshon Boutte, who we may see again. Injuries on the offensive line, injuries on the defense, and despite that, and we know everybody gets injured, the team that's usually there at the end is the team that's healthy. But despite it, Drake Maye has delivered numbers. And it's not just the Jets game. The Jets game was awesome. They just murdered those guys. But it's been Drake Maye, and it's been credit to Mike Vrabel, why this team is 8-0 on the road. Can you poke holes in an 8-0 road record? It's difficult. The 12th time in league history that a team has done that, behind the 2020 Chiefs, which is a fraudulent accomplishment because nobody was in those arenas that year. So that doesn't really count. But 2016 Patriots, Super Bowl winner. Weirdly, the 2014 Cowboys, so that was kind of a fraudulent claim, right? The 2007 Pats and 2001 Rams, both of whom lost in the Super Bowl. And before that, when NFL football wasn't a video game, the 89-90 49ers, the 84 49ers, the 82 Redskins, and the 72 Dolphins, all of whom won the Super Bowl. Very difficult to poke holes in an 8-0 road record. To Dondero's point Sunday, yeah, I give credit to my compatriots here at this station. Pat's postgame, Dondero made the point quite clear that the Patriots have shown up for every game. They haven't had one game where it's just been like, they don't have it today. Drake Maye's been a huge part of that poise, huge part of that consistency. That he, as a second-year player, can bring it is big to me. Now, are they going to get Will Campbell back? Becoming a possibility here. Milton Williams also practicing last week. You add those guys into the mix. If you can keep Stefon Diggs on the field, then maybe we're talking about something here. But Drake Maye has proven himself to be a stud this season. And I kind of don't want him to get the MVP. If you can hear me out here, it's almost kind of like the too much too soon thing. He's 23. But he may deserve it. Particularly after Matthew Stafford's performance last night. Multiple pick sixes. I look at the recent ledger of most valuable players in the NFL. And I don't see a lot of guys from the young up-and-comer category. I see guys who maybe got overlooked because of the greatness of, say, like a Mahomes getting multiple MVPs, or, Aaron Rodgers getting multiple MVPs, one of which was in 2021. The last two, Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen, at least on the AP side, those are two guys who we were kind of getting around to with the MVP vote. In both cases, Neither of those seasons that they had were their career best numbers seasons. Both passed for around 3,700 yards. They had completion percentages in the mid to high 60s. 28 TVDs for Allen, 24 for Jackson. Jackson, obviously, the 800 yards rushing. Allen with the 12 TDs on the ground last year. Drake Maye, maybe not in the rushing stats. He's got 4 TDs and around 400 yards rushing, which is impactful. With the 4,200 yards, 72% completion rate, and 30 TDs so far. Matt Stafford, he's thrown to Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams. Those aren't capable players. Those are dominant players. Drake may deserve this. We may have a situation here where it's like, Mahomes, and you just can't overlook him. And I think that was 2018 where Mahomes won it for the first time as a 23-year-old. He threw for 50 touchdowns. We're not in that category here. But in a league where there's tons of parity, you don't have any more lifetime achievement MVPs to give out. It's very much on the table. So, yeah, I don't really want it to happen. Just from a humility, I like to be the underdog. And I feel that's what these Patriots embody. I feel that's what the Patriots embodied, 20 years ago. It's tough to get back there, and we've just finally arrived back at underdog status. To vault back to the top brings its own set of problems. Compensation problems, attitude problems. I'm not saying these are Drake Maye sort of things, but what is the old Pat Riley quote? The disease of me. You know who Pat Riley is, Joe, right? You're a hoops head.
Oh yeah, I know who Pat Riley is.
Well,
I'm not that young.
I'm thinking of it here. Pat Riley in his Heat role. Obviously, you would know that. But I think Riley wrote a book in the 80s when he was Lakers head coach and coined the term disease of me. That happens. It's for real. So, I don't know. You cool with Drake Maye hoisting up the MVP trophy this season?
When's the last time that the MVP and Super Bowl winner were in the same year?
Great question.
Was that Rodgers, maybe? I know it hasn't been recent. It couldn't have been
2010,
recently.
maybe?
Yeah. There is a curse currently, like the Madden curse.
Yeah.
I think there is an MVP.
The MVP curse.
And maybe that's because, if you're the MVP and you're really that valuable to your team, that, your team might not be good enough to win it all. Or it could be kind of like, what you said, it might get to your head a little bit.
Let's research this. Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes. Well, they won in 2022, didn't they? They beat the Eagles that year, I think. Could be wrong. Because there was one Super Bowl where the Chiefs beat the Eagles and another one where the Eagles beat the Chiefs. Aaron Rodgers, 2021. Aaron Rodgers, 2020. Jackson, 2019. Mahomes, 18. Brady, 17, but they lost the Eagles that year. Matt Ryan lost to the Patriots in 16. Cam Newton lost in 15. Rodgers, Manning in 2013. Did the Broncos win the Super Bowl in 20? They beat the Patriots in the AFC Championship game. Was that the year they lost to the... Oh, jeez, who was that? Saints? No. I don't know. Could be a curse here on our hands. 617-779-0985. Let's talk some Bruins. We can also talk NFL Hall of Fame. Adam Vinatieri, to Alex Barth's point during the afternoon show, the greatest kicker in NFL history, the most points and the biggest kicks. Not in. But we could do a little Bruins. A little palate cleanse. Oh, the Bruins have not been cleansing anyone's palates. They need a palate cleanse after 6 consecutive losses. We'll get into that. I'll do some more research on this MVP curse with Joe here. Sean Silver here on the Sports Hub.
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub.
Be sure to tune into the Off-Air Show with Felger every Wednesday just after 6 p.m. on the 98.5 The Sports Hub YouTube channel. The Off-Air Show is presented by the original light beer, Miller Lite. Legendary stories and the Off-Air Show start with a light. Here's to 50 years of Miller time.
Hey, it's Zoe here, and timing matters on the field and on the job. And that's why contractors across New England trust Charles D. Sheehy with innovation, technology, and a team that delivers every day. CDS keeps projects on schedule and built to last. Count on Sheehy. Learn more at cdsi.com.
Hey, it's Sean Flaherty, managing partner at Catches Law. At Catches, we're more than just attorneys. We're your neighbors. We live in the same towns, we walk the same streets, and we care about the communities we serve. When life throws the unexpected your way and you need real results, you need real trial lawyers. Catches Law has recovered over $3 billion for the people of New England. From workplace injuries and medical malpractice to serious accidents, we fight for what's right every time. Visit catcheslaw.com or call today to schedule your free consultation.
At Service Credit Union, trust isn't just a value, it's their promise. A promise to stand with those who serve our communities every day. I'm Charlie McAvoy, and I'm proud to partner with Service Credit Union to support the health, safety, and financial well-being of first responders. With competitive rates, easy online banking, and personal service, Service Credit Union puts people before profits. Service Credit Union. Success built on trust, banking built on service. Become a member today at servicecu.org/73reasons and join thousands making a difference.
This year's Farmer's Almanac warns of a harsh, super snowy winter. So take control of the wet, snowy, and icy conditions with a new set of Bridgestone winter tires from Town Fair Tire at the guaranteed lowest price. Plus, Town Fair gives you the most free services for life with your purchase of Bridgestone winter tires. For the guaranteed lowest price on Bridgestone winter tires, nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team. Build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. And you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
The toughest bulls, the bravest riders. 8 seconds to prove who owns the dirt. Don't miss it. It's bull time. Get your PBR Boston tickets today at pbr.com/tickets or Ticketmaster.
Electrical contractors, Granite City Electric Supply now offers 24/7 access for material pickup. Introducing the GCE Night Train Depot. Safe and secure indoor storage at over 27 locations across New England and Albany, New York. Visit GCEnighttrain.com today.
Come to our free open house at Elite Chest in Westwood and save $500 when you book a gynecomastia procedure. Go to EliteChest.com. That's EliteChest.com.
Have you or someone you know been impacted by murder, trauma, grief, and loss? Get the emotional and practical support you need no matter where you are on your healing journey. Connect with a team of advocates ready to serve your family with dignity and compassion. The Louis D. Brown Peace Institute can help. Learn more at ldbpeaceinstitute.org.
This hour on the Sports Hub brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Enjoy quick and convenient vehicle maintenance this month. Visit NewEnglandOilChange.com for 15% off your drive-through oil change at Valvoline Instant Oil Change, the official oil change of busy people.
From the Top Tier Tire Studios, WBZ FM and HD1.
It's not just the games. It's Toucher and Hardy, Zolak and Bertrand, Felger and Maz, Joe Murray. For Boston sports fans, it's 98.5, the Sports Hub.
Beasley Media Group Station.
Essential Sports Hub headline, presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
The big news today, the Patriots receiver Stefon Diggs. Well, going to be a rough month for him. He is facing felony strangulation and misdemeanor assault charges stemming from an alleged incident back on December the 2nd. Diggs' attorneys attended a motion hearing today in Dedham. His arrangement scheduled for January 23rd, which is the Friday before the AFC Championship game. It should be clear, these are just allegations and charges at this point. Got to go through the legal system, right? And apparently that's what the Patriots thought as well, as they released a statement today saying that they support their player. Bruins off tonight. They lost their 6th straight last night in Calgary. Overtime loss. The Flames, they'll look to flip the script tomorrow night in Edmonton. Major League Baseball, the Angels have restructured the final year of third baseman Anthony Rendon's 7-year, $245 million deal. Largely regarded as maybe the worst free agent deal in baseball, Rendon has played just 257 games with LA since signing back in 2019. He missed the entirety of last season. He is not expected to play in 2026. And the Celtics back at it. After having their 4-game win streak snapped the other night in Portland, they are in Salt Lake City. They'll be taking on the Jazz with John Wallach and Cedric Maxwell on the call. 9 o'clock. Pre-game, 8:30. Throughout the BetMGM 98.5 The Sports Hub Celtics Radio Network. Headlines brought to you by... Oh, hey, Boston Prolotherapy. Don't let pain keep you off the course, or trail. Eliminate that pain with Dr. Franke of Boston Prolotherapy. I don't often get to read those. That's not like a night fill-in guide to get to read Boston Prolotherapy. I might need to go see them. I'm having some aches and pains. I'm Sean Silver, Boston's Over Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Kendra Middleton has you, and Celtics pregame.
Quick, smelly.
It's Joe Murray on the Sports Hub.
Among other wonderful sponsors, we have Celtics basketball coming to you at the industry term would be the bottom of the hour with John Wallach and Cedric Maxwell. John giving me a greeting right now. He's excited to see me. Always excited to see Wallach. But Celtics looking to bounce back, get the ball bouncing their way again as we head into a new year. Equal opportunity for the C's and the B's right now, both of them on West Coast swings. Until further evidence, I would say that I am more worried about the Bruins than the Celtics. Celtics have dropped one game, a game they should have had, to the Portland Trail Blazers, a team they should have beat. Bruins dropped a bunch of games to a bunch of teams. And yeah, the Edmonton Oilers are going to do what they do. But that's something that not even the 3-day NHL Christmas break was able to cure. They get back at it in Edmonton tomorrow night. So we'll see certainly how that one goes. It will be, the beautiful call of that one will be right here on these airways, of course. You know, it's December 30th. I'm in the host chair. I do what I want. Earlier, I fielded a call from a friend of mine who put their son on. That was great. I was surprised by that one. But on this one, I've gotten some intel ahead of the time here. Brandon from Easton, who I have a long history with, good history, not bad, has a question. And with Brandon is Teddy on the Patriots playoffs this year. Brandon, how are we?
I'm good, Sean. How are you?
Doing great. We've gotten off the Stefon Diggs talk for a little bit here, and I'm just bloviating on other topics, so I'm in my own little world.
Well, we don't want to talk about hockey because the Bruins stink right now, yeah. And we don't want to talk about Stefon Diggs. We want to talk about the future.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, well, sure.
The Patriots have had an unbelievable season. We're stunned by that. It's been fun watching it through the eyes of a 10-year-old. And I have a 10-year-old who has a question for you.
Let's do it, Teddy.
Do you think the Patriots will do what the Commanders did last year, where they go to the conference championship, but then lose and then fall apart the next year? Do you think they're gonna possibly win a Super Bowl and create a dynasty?
Teddy, great question, and thanks for the call, Brandon and Teddy. I'll do my best to answer that one. That is an interesting comp. The way I see the Commanders is They went out and got Deebo Samuel. They were set to be the next big thing. And this is the thing that we saw last year, right? We saw the Commanders go from bad to great. We saw Harbaugh's impact, Michigan man, on the Chargers, right? We saw impact across the league, and we sat home and said, well, the Patriots had Gerard Mayo. Maybe it was all his fault. And if we bring in Mike Vrabel, maybe that'll fix everything. Well, I don't know if it was entirely Mike Vrabel, but it definitely played a part here. And a lot of us are willing to eat crow. I saw Gasper eating crow on Twitter today. I will eat the crow and say that, hey, sometimes going back to ye good old days is not all that bad. Get a familiar name in here who knows the expectation, knows the vibe, knows the area. And Mike Vrabel has delivered in every possible way thus far. I don't know how far this team is going. I feel like the Diggs situation and what the NFL does and whether or not this weighs on the team could be impactful. I do wonder if, and we talked. I'd mentioned last segment, the old disease of me. When you have a team experience success, do people suddenly start saying, "I want to get paid. I want more playing time. I want this. I want that." Is this that type of roster that's going to be doing that? I don't know. We all kind of said before the season that this roster wasn't all that good. And yet they've gotten what they needed out of the players that needed to make the jump. Kind of like the Commanders did last year. This year, it's probably a lot of things for Washington, but it was mainly health. Jaden Daniels made a lot of that magic, and he hasn't been healthy. Terry McLaurin missed a big chunk of the season, too. If you go into next year and Drake Maye is going to miss a bunch of games, and maybe Dan Lifshat's in the house, and maybe I just got distracted by that beautiful sight. And I don't know, pick somebody. Say Diggs is off the roster. Would the Celtics be taking a step back? Or the Patriots. So distracting. All these people walking by who I'm just happy to see. Kendra's in the house getting ready for Celtics. It's the antithesis of the Christmas break here at the station. Just all these people are around. Usually it's just me and a producer, me and Joe. We've just been hanging out here.
This is the most action a night show we'll get.
So much action right now. Wallach's in the building. I mean, I'm like a kid on Christmas.
Jake Seymour is in the building.
Jake Seymour is in the building. He is often that producer for me. So I thank Jake for his steadfast companionship and skills. But yeah, to answer your question, Teddy, I mean, I would really like to see, I'm not going to bank on a Super Bowl or anything this year, but I would really like to see something sustainable develop here for the Patriots. They've got a lot of, and I hate to go back to 2001, and Teddy, you're not going to remember 2001, right? But the Patriots back then had a lot of young guys, a lot of unheralded guys, and then a few guys who were professional football players who really knew what they were doing. And they got that core, and they went from there. They added to it. They subtracted to it over the years. They kept going. Can the Patriots brass have a similar GM stint to what Bill Belichick did 20-plus years ago? That's a tall order. But I'd like to think that they have a few guys here that are set to be here long-term who know what they are doing. They have young players who are growing into a role. And they have just enough hungry guys who are around to kind of keep progressing. And you look at those positions and you say, maybe this is a position where we could use an upgrade. And you head into free agency or you head into the trade market and you do better. The one thing that hangs over that is Stefon Diggs to me. I was set for him to be here 1 year, maybe. We'd see how it goes. When it started looking like, wow, maybe Stefon Diggs could be a part of the Patriots for multiple years, I bought that. I was ready for that. Is that still going to be the case after this winter? It's a big, big if right now for Steph Diggs and the Pats. So, yeah, I mean, I could see that backslide happening next year. You also have to think about the schedule makers. And I'm not saying that the Patriots can't handle it they have played up to the levels of their better opponents this year. As Dondero said this weekend, they have been in every game. There hasn't been, kind of like the Celtics. They've been a max effort team this year. No matter the competition, they've been getting after it. Does the schedule next year influence? Do they go from 13-3 or 13, 14 wins to 10, 11 wins just because the schedule is that much harder, just because of the weight of the expectations? There's a lot of if. We are stuck in the middle of it right now, and I've tried to look at it with like a rose-colored tint here. This is the first Patriots team that has taken me by surprise in 24, 25 winters. And it's great. It's been really cool. And it must be fun to be, a kid who's watched this team in recent years and hasn't been particularly very good, and to see them make that jump. Or to be a spoiled kid like my 7-year-old who's just started to get into football the last couple of years, and all of a sudden his team is great. Ask my son, 4 months ago, 4 months ago, who his favorite team was. He's a front runner. It was the Eagles. He's drawn pictures of Saquon Barkley. Last fall, he got a puppy at not an actual dog. Our dog is nearly 15. He got a stuffed animal like at a birthday party, and he named it Mahomes. So, the year before it was Chiefs. This is the lens of, a 6-7-year-old kid. This fall, it became Patriots. He is so Patriots. And it's really cool to see. So, yeah, I hope that hangs around. Even if they're not a dynasty, which I would imagine has got to be even harder to maintain in the NFL than ever. Just the fact that you got Drake Maye at the helm looks like it's giving you a chance. And as I said, maybe I don't want him to get all the accolades right away. I don't want this little, young, naive bubble to be popped. But if he gets the MVP, he deserves it. 617-779-0985. Joe, you've been grinning over there.
I have the answer to our trivia question of the MVP.
Yes, please.
So you were correct. In 2022, it was Patrick Mahomes and it won the MVP, and they did win the Super Bowl. However, prior to that, the curse has definitely existed.
Okay.
The last person prior to Patrick Mahomes in 2022 to win the MVP and also their team to win the Super Bowl in the same year is Kurt Warner in 1999 with the St. Louis Rams.
Dear God.
So you're right that Drake Maye MVP could get us a little nervous.
Yeah. And I don't want to be nervous. I don't want to be nervous about this season. This season has just brought me joy. I've been very relaxed. You can bet that my blood pressure is going to rise with the so-called actual competition that the Patriots could play in the playoffs. But as it stands now, you super worried about the Chargers, Joe? I mean, does Justin Herbert, a potentially injured Justin Herbert, put the fear of God in you going into this matchup?
No, Justin Herbert does not put the fear of God in me. And I'm not saying this just because Kendra's sitting next to me. I am way more scared of the Jaguars than I am of the Chargers. I do not fear Justin Herbert. I haven't seen enough from him, and I think their offensive line has been shaky at best.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I mean, yeah, they got that two-headed monster running back, but if you can't block for him, what are you really going to do? If you can't give Herbert time to throw to those quality receivers, what are you really going to do? And
does their defense scare you all that much, Sean?
I mean, a lot of people are chirping about the Texans' defense right now, which I think is warranted, given the amount of pressure that they've been putting on quarterbacks all season and just the fact that they're not allowing other teams to score on them. If you get into a mud fight with the Texans, but it would be here, so you got to feel good about that. Maybe we get some weather. That would always be nice. Do I trust C.J. Stroud? No. I like the player, but, do I trust that running back room? Not necessarily. So Chubb and Marks, it doesn't necessarily scare me. But yeah, the Jaguars are having what the Patriots are having, just in a what do I want to say? Under under a lamplight that's not as strong. And it's because Drake Maye is 23 and Trevor Lawrence is doing what he's doing, but it's not like, several years ago, that the Jags only just now are really starting to get their credit. And the talk has been more about the Patriots. I feel like the Jags are like that sleeper pick for people. See, I want the Patriots to remain the sleeper pick, but the 13 wins, it's just been too much for them to withstand that. And the fact that it's the Patriots, the national media is coming back around. But the Jags, Jags have been a capable football team. There's another one with a running game that bothers me out there. There's another team that has defense taking care of it. And the big one, they went out at the trade deadline and secured somebody who could help them big time in Myers. And that's paid off, particularly with the Hunter injury, right?
I think the Patriots are going to end up really regretting letting Myers go. I think he's a certified stud. How much more comfortable would you feel with the Patriots if they had Jacoby Myers on the team right now?
Oh, are you kidding me? I mean, because now it's all coming down to Kyle Williams. Kayshon Boutte, we don't know. Mac Hollins, we definitely don't know if we're going to be seeing. Pop Douglas, he's had his own injury issues, right? It's Hunter Henry, it's Stefon Diggs, throw Hooper in there, right? But, oh, man, would that have been great. And I know that was a topic that came up on these airwaves a lot. You got to bring Jacoby Myers back. It won't take that much. Just get him back in the fold. Get a professional receiver in the room. Would be great. But you have what you have. You're going to the playoffs with that. And, I mean, in the parity of the AFC that we are seeing this year and the parity of the true NFL, I mean, it's just going to be matchup specific. And I'm not like freaked out about any of these matchups. I mean, I think the Jaguars have just as much to prove as New England does, right? So we'll see how well those teams can handle that expectation. 617-779-0985. Wow. We got one more segment left. I just gave Teddy like a 15-minute answer to his very succinct, well-thought-out question. I hope he's enjoying his evening tonight. And, we'll talk C's leading you into Celtics Jazz next on the Sports Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. On the way on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Moving your home or business? Avoid the headache, time, and uncertainty of hiring just any mover. Do what I did. Choose DN Van Lines. Call 1-800-51-MOVER.
Cars for Kids, the easiest way to get rid of your old car. Donate today and your car can be picked up tomorrow. Donate now at carsforkids.com. That's cars with a K.
What's up, everybody? It's Adam and your boy Lou from Central 44 Jeep Dodge Ram and Rainham. The holidays are here, football's rolling. It's the perfect time to upgrade your drive during the Wrap Up the Year sales event. We've got an unbelievable gift waiting for you. Get a 2025 Jeep Wrangler Sport S lease for $229 a month for 36 months with $39.95 down, 7,500 miles per year. That's the kind of holiday deal that brings cheer to every driveway. We're just minutes from anywhere, so you can upgrade your ride, spread a little holiday magic, and still be home before kickoff. Tell them what's up, Lou.
Central 44 Jeep Dodge Ram and Rainham, from our driveway to yours.
Miller Lite, the legendary light beer. The originator, the inventor. If this beer could talk, it'd tell stories about that one time, that night, that one guy, that one gal. Writing a story 50 years long and 50 million friends wide. Because legendary stories start with a light. Here's to 50 years of Miller Time. Celebrate responsibly. 2025 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Hey, so, listen, it's cold, real New England cold. And when that happens, we all run inside and crank the heat. But before you breathe that warm and cozy air, do you know what's hiding in your ducts? I'm talking pounds of nasty stuff, dead insects, dust, pet dander, basically a mini haunted house living in your vents. And that's why my guy Chris and his team at Green Home Solutions are the real MVPs. They hit your system with antimicrobial treatment, hospital-grade disinfection, and boom, the bug poop, the grossness, it's all gone. So do your lungs a favor, call 1-800-SOLUTIONS, tell them so sent you.
Build the perfect holiday meal at Whole Foods Market. From traditional holiday must-haves to creative twists, everything must pass their strict ingredient standards. Grab sales on their impressive centerpiece mains with no antibiotics ever. Aim to please with limited-time desserts like chocolate bourbon pecan pie. And ring in 2026 with sales on quality seafood. Shop for your celebration at Whole Foods Market with so many ways to save. Terms apply.
This is Greg Bedard, and I'll tell you what stopped me from calling Awaken 180. I was afraid of making a lifestyle change. I wanted a lifestyle change. I needed a change. I guess I didn't really know what that meant. For you, maybe it's thinking, I can't drink with the guys. I can't review my North Shore roast beefs. I'll have to carve out time to exercise. What's the point if everything I like has to disappear? The reality with Awaken 180 is this. You don't give anything up. You just tweak it for a while. That's it. Your coaches help you make adjustments until the weight is gone, and then you bring things back to where your new self wants them. Before Awaken 180, my vice was sitting on the couch, watching a game or TV with my wife, and snacking. It was 5, 6, 7 days a week. Awaken 180 helped me make adjustments, and the surprising part is I didn't miss the snacking. Now, after dropping my 100 pounds, everything is back on the table, but on my terms. Change isn't a scary word. This new year, experience it for yourself. Online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Bob Beers here for Sports Etc. If you're looking for the best selection for everything hockey and more, see my friends at Sports Etc.
Sports Etc. in Arlington.
Start the new year risk-free with Awaken 180. No subscriptions. You can pay as you go. Reach your goals this January. And as always, receive free support for life. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Solak and Bertrand get you through the midday. Joe Murray gets you right through the night.
I actually spoke with women today.
On the Sports Hub.
Smith has a new song. It sounds, I'm not going to be one to judge because I cannot sing to any sort of a level, but sounds rather processed. You know, it's getting pulled up a lot in the Silver family vehicle lately, which I found out that me and Jake Seymour, both owners of Ford Mavericks, here to the compact truck crew. But the kids want to hear the Kids Bop station on the satellite radio, which I still have, as a recent purchaser of a vehicle. So the Kids Bop station. And man, they're all auto-tuned. All those kids be auto-tuned. It's unsettling. It's unsettling. But at least I'm up on the current hits and the Grammy nominees this year, because I'm hearing the Kids Bop versions of all of them. I fell out of popular music around the time I turned 32, 33. Couldn't tell you a whole lot, but I do know the Kids Bop versions. All right, we got Celtics coming up here. We're going to be going to Wallach and Max in like 5 minutes. I see Lauri Markkanen warming up. If you are a fan of Utah Jazz basketball, you've come to the right place. Oh, but beautiful city. I'm sure the Celtics are thrilled to be there. What are you looking at on this road trip, Joe? I said that they could still come out on the West Coast here. I've said that they could still go 3-1. That the Portland blemish would be the only one that they would have. As Joe is scurrying around here, something needs to be fixed. And what a night! What a night here at the station. My goodness, the chocolates are almost finished up. If anybody's interested. Yeah, but Jaylen Brown's 30-point streak on the line. I already said I'm completely fine with that coming to an end tonight. Not because I dislike Jaylen Brown in any way. In fact, I am the number one Jaylen Brown supporter here at 98.5 The Sports Hub. Undisputed number one Jaylen Brown supporter here, just as I was the number one and constantly proven right Al Horford supporter at 98.5 The Sports Hub. But we're over that. But, I'm looking for a bounce back night from Derek White. I'm looking for, hopefully a bounce back night from the field from Peyton Pritchard. And they could do it against these Jazz guards. I'm certain of that. Am I worried about Isaiah Collier? I mean, maybe a little bit. But the Utah Jazz should be easy pickings for the Boston Celtics tonight. Svi Mihalik on this team. My gosh, I'm looking in depth. I haven't watched a lot of League Pass Jazz games this year. I know Walker Kessler's been hurt. It's always kind of a rebuilding year in Utah as they come into this game 12-19. The Celtics nearly the exact inverse of that. Actually, I think they are the exact inverse of that. They're 19-12, right? Yeah, 19-12. Who would have expected that? Lauri Markkanen pouring in 28 points a game. You know he can ball. Yusuf Nurkic, the great empty stats center. Kyle Filipowski on this roster. He's been getting some run lately. He's been putting in some buckets, grabbing some rebounds. But no, White and Pritchard should be able to bounce back in this game. And I feel like this road trip is just an opportunity for the Celtics to travel and allow their traveling road show to show NBA fans, hey, this is a legit team this year. Not unlike the Patriots. Maybe a lot unlike the Bruins, who we're seeing their true colors right now. But no one was expecting the Bruins to give you much this year. It was kind of a bonus that they held it together for as long as they did. The Celtics still holding it together, still generally, I would say, a max effort team, and still an opportunity here to close in these next couple of months, hopefully prior to a Jason Tatum return. And do you integrate another player onto this roster at the trade deadline? Is Anthony Simons embracing the six-man role something that's going to work? Or are you going to get him out of town and maybe bring back a contract, maybe bring back a player potentially in the paint who can help you? And then you're looking at a rotation that's deeper and more elite by adding Tatum. Even if he's on a 25-minute, 30-minute restriction in the spring, you get him back. You got some help, some depth at your big man positions. And the Celtics in the East, the world is their oyster. Doom, 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 as the music starts. And you get ready. Hey, thanks for putting up with me tonight. I'll try to figure out the cure for what ails me before Friday night when we do 4 full hours. I'm sure callers will be saying, or listeners will be saying, I'd rather stick needles in my eyes than hang out with Sean Silver. I'll be doing that Friday night. Next up, though, we got Wallach, we got Max, we got the C's, we got the Jazz. Kendra Middleton, studio host for tonight's game. Street Team Joe, it's been a pleasure. We will do it again Friday night. Hey, everybody, enjoy the game here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Home for sports is 95 The Sports Hub. Easily Media Group Station.
This is Shaw's and Star Market Celtics Tonight. Download the Star Market Deals and Delivery app today.
Jalen, right hand dribble.